Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And you know what time it is. It's the Lord's 57th annual Passover, and it's going to be held in Houston, Texas on April 4th. Don't forget, bring your family, bring your friends, because this is going to be the time that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans can come under one roof in one house and to serve the Lord. It's that time. $200 per person. Don't forget, over the age of 17. Don't forget the Lord's Passover. It's coming.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're one West world.
I guess I should ride with Lex.
They talk about man. Oh, no. Yo, it's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to dawn, right, get another legacy.
If you gotta do the shit, when I do it carefully. You can lose everything you own over jealousy. When I met her, I ain't never sweat her, I just let her breathe. See you down, keep my foot on you, that's not my pedigree. At your throat, I done took an oath, I pray I never leave. I'm a different guy, you're surprised, tucked in my sleeve. Boy, you fucking stupid, soldier seek for some bloody beef. True nation, cut the conversation, better keep it brief.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
If it's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It ain't that they don't wanna know, we tell them, they just won't believe. It's about the journey, I ain't worried, moving at my speed. Saying we ain't much to be desired, gotta disagree. Starting one of mine, then we spinning like rotisserie. Go against the odds, I'm ready, this another victory. Cut different, niggas moving foul, where the referee. Moving like the military, something they ain't never seen. One West world for the people, this is what they need.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. You are live at the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, Biblical Scripture Breakdown class, live with Priest and Captain Dr. Zachary Shah, the ISUPK under Commandant General Yohana. Wrap it up and getting it on. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatham, Yahweh Shemar Alathan, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom, shalom. Try to come on in here. Shalom, shalom. Yum Yum in the building. Shalom, sis. Shalom, shalom. Everybody in there. Shalom, shalom. All right. Getting into Most High. Biblical Scripture Breakdown class. All right. All right. Most High Christ. So we in there. We should be good to go. How's my sound? All right, good. Shalom, shalom. Yagadah. All right. Got a number go in there. Shalom, Ybrash. Yo, Shum Shabrakatah.
Yes.
All right, all right. So we got any questions? I guess we got no questions in the room. Who remembers where we were last week? Who remembers? Anybody recall? Huh? Who was there? Ahmedar was there. Yagadar was there. McCoy Yala was there. Was Yaquad. Yaquad was there. And Ross was there. Remember what we talked about last week. What we go over. She was there. Sis was there. Shalom. Y'all Shamal thought she me out with child, sis. All right. So going back to our wisdom and our understanding in the sight of the nations, what the Lord gave us that would make us a wise and understanding people. What we talking about the strength of the Lord's wisdom. Shalom, shalom. Y'all about Shemal Shabbat. The Lord gave us wisdom, right? So we're going to get to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We're going to go. We talked about Adam being made a living soul. He was made alive and he became a living soul because Adam was given something from the Lord. The Lord gave Adam the breath of life. Shalom Yatawab, Shara, Achnawa Tazarai, Yawashimal Atabashim Yawashah. The Lord gave Adam, Matan al Adama, you understand? Habal, the breath, Habal Chaya, the breath of life. Most High gave Adam the breath of life, which of course is these laws, statutes, and commandments. All right? Shalom, shalom. Akhwaf Nawa. All right? And because of this, it made us. Give me Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13. We're going to start there. Matthew 5 and 13 and hold Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. Go ahead with Matthew 5 and 13.
Matthew chapter 5 verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth.
The Bible, the God in the Bible said that ye, talking about so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, God called us the salt of the earth. We give the earth its flavor. Everything that makes the world great and wonderful and functional and proper and in order. The things that societies have been taught to do, that for generations the Lord gave us these instructions. And because the Lord gave us these instructions, when we came across another nation of people, they saw us and said, damn, these people are much wiser than us. They are much smarter than us. They know how to do things that we don't even understand. They understand things about life that we making it up. They understand the benefit of having one God. And the Arabs decided that they were going to make one God instead of having a God for every day of the year, which is what they had before. This whole idea and notion that God is one person, one being, that only comes from the children of Israel. Every other race of people always worshiped multiple gods. We were the only people that had a God that was one singular power that ruled over everything. The Egyptians had tons of gods, the Chaldeans, the Babylonians, the Arabs, Asians, East Indians, all of the customs of the Christian church are all the worship of many different gods. They've never all been one same God. That comes from the Bible. That comes from the real, true living power giving us real instruction about how he created everything. All right. The Lord said, we are the salt of the earth. Christ is reiterating. Keep going.
But if the salt have lost his savor.
If we lose our flavor, if we lose all the things that made us wonderful and special and unique, and now we start trying to be as a people, we start wearing the Muslim man dress. You understand? We start trying to be like the oppressor. being letting the woman rule and be in charge and be a damn queen. Start trying to be like the oppressor style and all these things that come from the other nations of people's culture, intermixing and interracial marriages and worshiping the stars in the sky, crystals and cards and fish and animals that's on the ground and that fly in the air, live in the sea. Then, once we take on their customs and cultures, the Lord said we lose our flavor. Just as a prime example, let me not get ahead of myself. Keep reading.
Wherewith shall it be salted?
How will the world get its flavor, its correction, be set on its right axis? Right now, the world is not set on its proper axis. The world is set and functioning incorrectly. You understand? Because the Lord intended for the children of Adam, the sons of God, the children of Israel, the people of Christ, the Lord intended for us to rule and keep everything in order since the days that he gave Adam the instructions about how to rule and maintain order on the planet. You understand? All right. So keep going.
It is thenceforth good for nothing.
The Lord said the salt and the flavor that he created us for now will be left and be good for nothing. Will be something that can just be thrown away. Keep going.
But to be cast out.
But to be thrown away, to be cast out. You take it and you throw it away. Like you throw away old shoes, old shirt, garbage, trash, Pampers, diapers, old tires, whatever it is that you have no more use or value for. The Lord said, now we become something to be thrown away. And that is the result of taking the customs of the other nations of people. That's a result of us not obeying the Most High God, the power of our fathers. You understand? Keep going.
And to be trodden under foot of men.
Trodden means to be stepped on. It's old Quaker English words. To be trodden or to be stepped on by the foot of men. We were not supposed to be stepped on by the other nations of people. We weren't supposed to be underneath of their judgment and their justice. And some heathen who worships some bastard that'll have sex with a 9-year-old baby, now they decide if we are right or wrong. Some big head alien looking Somali scammer will go in his mosque and talk about how their families is all destroyed. They having kids. The kids don't know who their fathers are. These bastards were never supposed to have an opportunity, let alone the gall or the caucasity that the so-called oppressor has to fix their mouth and say anything evil against the children of God, the children of Israel. But because we've lost us to be something that they can match, that they can overpower, that they can destroy, that they can use, that they can hunt down in the streets. If we obey the Lord as a people, ICE agents would start having heart attacks left and right. They'd be driving, they jump out the car to try to go and harass through, just like it did in ancient Egypt, just like it did on every people who came up against the children of Israel, because the Lord would be protecting us if we had not lost our flavor and started going to church, trying to get rid of all the curls and the afro and the ethnicity out of yourself. You go to church, you straighten your hair to look like a white woman. You understand? That started to take away. Not that it's a sin to have straight hair. It's not a sin. Some brothers and sisters do. Christianity, that is just a small example of draining the flavor and the salt and the soul out of our people. Give me Deuteronomy Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6 that you hold it. We're going to show you in the scriptures. It's a very damaging thing to try to fit inside of another race of people's society. The Lord said to not do that. Shalom, brother. All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 7.
Whenever you're ready,
verse
kid, you
6.
got it.
For thou art an holy people.
The God in the Bible said, we are a holy people. The word holy means separate, means set apart, meaning we are a people that everyone, he's going to explain what holy means, because we've not been properly educated as to what it means to be holy. We've heard songs about the Bible in church. We've heard people say religious speeches and religious quotes about the Bible, but we've not actually been taught what's in the Bible. You understand? God said we are a holy people. A people is a race or a nation of people. Keep going.
Unto the Most High, thy power. The Most High, thy power, have chosen thee to be a special people.
Right. God said we are a holy people unto the Most High, meaning we as a people belong to the God of the Bible. All races of people don't belong to the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible is not with all people. He's not available for all people. He doesn't love all people. He didn't give anything to all people. He's dealing with his children on a level like a good father, a good parent, a good father deals with his children. And we've not learned this lesson because we've been raised the opposite of what God said, of what Christ taught. That's why we are undoing that in the ISU. All right. So the Lord chose us to be a special people unto himself. Keep going.
Above all people.
God in the Bible said we are above all people
that are upon
where?
The face of the earth.
The Lord said that we are above all people upon any people on the planet. God, he made one people better than all the other ones.
That's right.
God put us on a pedestal, hold us to a very high regard that he does not hold the other nations of people. You understand? And this is very important to know. That's why we are the salt of the earth. When the Bible says he made one people above, when you think of all the things, take me to Jeremiah 10 and 16 real quick. When you think of the things that the Lord created, that we created as a people, all of our music, they take black music with pain and blues and soul and jazz. At one point, it was called the devil's music. The jazz was called the devil's music because white boys couldn't make jazz. At one point, the numbers was illegal. You got to be good and black and old enough to know what the numbers is. Who knows what the numbers is? See how black y'all are. The numbers was illegal. Who knows what the numbers is? Huh? What's the numbers, y'all? Come on, y'all. How black are y'all? Who black in here? Y'all might be diet black. I don't know. With Isupk. Okay, I see y'all black. Okay. The lottery. There you go. All right, the lottery. There you go. Betting on sports. Virginia lottery, the lottery, yes. That Mega Millions and Powerball and Blackjack, all of that was illegal. It is Israelite culture to shoot dice, to gamble. You understand? Not that you should gamble away your mortgage or your car note, but it is Israelite customs. The symbol for the Levi, the pair of dice, the Urim and the Thummim, gambling. That's right, Tazarah, gambling. Well, that's Israelite culture. You understand? They cast lots to see who was going to replace Judas after he committed suicide after betraying Christ. They shot dice, you understand, to see who was going to win. Craps, CeeLo, bones, some places. Some places bones is dominoes. You understand? So, but that's Israelite custom and culture. And now they have a lottery. Church has a lottery. The city has a lottery. The state, Powerball, Mega Millions. Our music was done in such a way. Now the world sports our music, sorrow and suffering, about depression and poverty and struggle. And now those are the songs they want to sell to the entire world. Our music, our groups, our 4 and 5 man groups of brothers with big afros and bell bottoms and suits, spinning and sliding and hitting the notes. Our flavor. That's Israelite custom and flavor. Singing to a woman, singing to her, having a party. The blues, the jazz, rock and roll, hip hop, R&B. The Koreans take our soul music and try their version of it. They call it Korean pop, call it K-pop. You understand? And it's real big and popular. The white boy get a hold of our music and bands getting together, playing live instruments and guitars. And guess what he do? He take all of the flavor from the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, all of your Isley Brothers and Ohio Players and Blue Notes and Shy Lights and Earth, Wind, and Fire. He take all of that. And then he go and make 98 Degrees, NSYNC, and the Backstreet Boys, and all of his white boys singing groups. You understand? Take our hip hop and go make the Beastie Boys. And then Eminem and Paul Wall. Before you know it, white boys is rapping and hip hopping and pants sagging and pointing their fingers and moving, catching rhythm. They used to say if you moved your hips and twist your legs, you were doing the devil's dancing because they didn't have no rhythm. Muddy Waters and all the brothers on the Chitlin circuit were able to do dances and moves. And then guess what happened? A white boy learned how to do black people's moves. His name was Esley. And he got to shake and twist and do all the black moves and do all the, oh, baby, baby, come be with me, baby. I'm the head nigga in charge, baby. Before you know it, the whole world called Elvis the King from doing his white boy imitation of black soul music, black rock and roll. We revolutionize and change everything because God made one people better than all the other people. All the inventions. Read what you got, please.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them.
God said Jacob is not like the other nations of people. We are Jacob. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are the salt of the earth the Lord was talking about. You understand? Before the Europeans came to America, they were eating half molded bread, half rotten cheese, all kind of unseasoned, unflavored beans and rye and barley and spelt. They were eating like a damn wild animal before they came to America, eating pig and whatever they could catch and kill. They talk about how great Rome was. One of the things that they don't teach you about Rome is a delicacy. They ate all the time in Rome, like you go and get chicken from Popeyes or Church's or KFC. They ate mice. Rome was full of mice and rats. That's what they ate in ancient Egypt. You understand? They were big on eating mice. Mice were everywhere. You understand? So keep going.
For he is the former of all things.
God in the Bible said that Jacob, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are the former or the creator of all things. Everything good and wonderful comes from us. The Lord gave us his culture to be the superior people on the planet Earth. And the spirit that is inside of our people revolutionized everything. You don't believe me? Go and let Esau work his own fields to grow his food. And then once he stopped growing his own food, go and get Issachar and Zebulun and Asher and put Issachar in those fields. And you won't have food shortages anymore. You won't have a shortage of lettuce. Remember, like General Muhammad explains, in the Great Depression and all of those previous eras, before so-called mass immigration after the Civil Rights Bill, even though the Mexicans were already here and a good percentage of America already belongs to them, that the white man stole, but they had food shortages. They had trouble running out of food all the time in America. Well, you haven't had food shortages in America since you've had Mexicans in the field growing your crops, your strawberries and tomatoes and pumpkins and apples, and farming your crops and filling up the produce section of your grocery store. You haven't had food shortages in generations. Why? Because God made one people superior in agriculture. That's right, the Great Depression. God made a people that are superior in agriculture to all the other people on the face of the earth. The Africans have trouble feeding their people. The only reason our people have trouble getting food is because the oppressor, keeps his foot on our necks. You understand? That's why they had to come and burn our towns to the ground, because we prospered so well in his absence. So well that we built our own colleges or universities when the previous generations of our people weren't even allowed to read or write. You understand? The planet has changed. You remember how crime used to get solved? You used to have two witnesses. Somebody had to be there to see the purse get snatched, or to see the fight, to see the robbery. That's why crime was so rampant in the 20s and 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. But there's a sister, you understand, Marie Van Brittan Brown. Her and her husband invented the closed circuit security camera. And now there's a closed circuit security camera all over the planet that completely revolutionized crime, legality, law enforcement. You can now police better in areas because there are cameras that can catch crime even if there's no person there. You can secure your homes and businesses better because of the threat of being seen and found out is so prevalent, because there's cameras everywhere. So successful that the invention of brothers, Eugene Russell and Henry T. Sampson, that they created this thing right here called a cell phone that is in everybody's hand, everybody's pocket, everybody's purse. Even the kids got cell phones. Completely changed how communication happens. Before, you had to wait till you got in the house. You had to wait till you had to memorize somebody's phone number. You had to carry around a phone book. Who remembers carrying around a phone book? Getting a little book with your friends in there. You meet a sister, you say, hey, what you doing? Got a man, son, write your number down. This is my number right here. Call this number right here. Who remembers that? Remember carrying a phone book. Some of y'all may have never even seen a phone book before. They used to have a big book called the Yellow Pages and something called a payphone. Some of you may have never seen a payphone before. But a payphone was a place where you took a quarter. Many of you probably ain't seen a quarter in a long time either. But it started out as a dime or a nickel. And you would put a dime or a nickel into a big steel box hanging out the wall near a telephone pole, in a train station, in a bus station. And you would stand there with a metal cord and you would hold this thing up to your ear, full of all kind of diseases, all kind of garbage, all kind of trash and filth and hair grease and flu virus. And you would hold that phone away from your ear if you were black. If you were white, you put it on your face. But if you were black or Latino, you held it about this close and you're talking to it like this here, and you turn your head so that it didn't touch your skin. Well, that's how you used to have to communicate. Otherwise, you had to wait till you got home. You had to call the office. Now, because of two brothers, you don't have to wait to talk to anybody. You don't need a phone book. That's right, Tazarai. I carried a phone book. I had many phone books. I had a little black one. I had one in the house. You lose your phone book, you don't know anybody's number. You know yours, probably your mom's, grandma's. If there were separate numbers, now you don't have to remember the phone. You used to have to learn how to tell time in school. You had to learn how to tell time with the clock, with the hands. You understand? If you were under 20, you may have never seen that before. But you had to learn how to do that by the time you got ready to leave second grade. And if you could not tell time with a real analog clock, then you were not going to leave second grade. And you know what happened? 2 black men invented the cell phone, and now you don't have to tell time at all. The damn phone will tell you what time it is. You understand? You don't have to read the hands on the wall. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to. You understand? Right. You used to have to write something down by hand and go and deliver it from person to person, person to person. And then some brother made the IBM computer, known as the laptop. You understand? And that brother made a laptop, and now everybody has a laptop. They give laptops at schools. That's how you communicate. Used to have to write everything by hand. Well, now the black man made a laptop. Teachers don't want to see your ugly handwriting no more. Whole world has completely changed because of these inventions. You understand? People used to get sick and die because they didn't know that they were supposed to wash their behind all the time. Wash your clothes, wash your sheets, clean your house. Don't let mold, don't eat something with mold on it. Don't let yellow hairs spring up out your body. It's not natural. Something's wrong. Don't sit there with somebody that's sick, coughing and bleeding all over you with pus and mucus. You got to separate them. Well, guess what? They didn't know that at first. Now you got medical quarantine, the Center for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, the New England Journal of Medicine, Johns Hopkins Journal of Medicine. You got all of this now. St. Jude, all kind of stuff to help you medically. But you had to deliver a letter by hand. There was no email. 30 years ago, wasn't no email, sis. You had to physically write a letter with your hand. You understand? They had something even older called a typewriter. You probably never seen a typewriter before, Tazarai, but a typewriter was a big metal box. It was heavy as hell. And that typewriter had something, and the keys were very heavy. It looked just like a keyboard. And if you put a wrong punctuation, there was no way to go back. You had to start over. It had to be done perfect. That's how things were printed and typed up before. Now you just hit backspace. Or you could press a button on your computer and you'll talk to the damn laptop, and the laptop will type everything out and spell it for you. Why? Because God made one race of people better than all the other people. And that one race of people created something that completely changed life forever. You understand? You can communicate now. The sister made the call ID. Dr. Shirley Jackson, you used to have to guess. You would hear the phone ring and you would say, that's ringing like cousin so-and-so. That's probably Jimmy. No, I don't know. Might have to let it go to voicemail. I'm going to answer it anyway. Don't answer it, Grandma. Here we go. Hello? Hello? God damn it. It's Jimmy. Damn. It's Jimmy. Ma, I just need to hold about $150. You know, I'll get back to you when I get paid. Jimmy, no. Who all over there? Don't tell him I'm here. Don't tell him I'm here. I'm not here. Who all over there, Grandma? Deontay over there? Aunt Tammy? Aunt Lisa? Lisa there? Aunt Lisa there? Yeah, I'm here, Jimmy. Aunt Lisa, what's going on? Aunt Lisa, Jimmy, where's my $30, Jimmy? Oh, you know I got you, Auntie. You know I love you. I love you. All right, Jay, I don't want to hear that, damn it, Jimmy. You calling to get You calling to get some more money out of Mama, Jimmy? Every goddamn time, Jimmy, what are you doing? I'm getting it together, man. Just, we family. We family. Damn, I told you not to answer. People leaving out the door. Deontay over there. Deontay, bam. You hear doors slamming. Damn it, Jimmy. Come on, baby. Mama got some money for you. Come on and give it to you. I told you, don't answer. All right. Come on. Damn. Now, it'll tell you who calling before the number pop up. You used to have to guess. Now you don't have to guess no more. You don't have to guess no more. Now you know who calling. You understand? Why? Because Dr. Shirley Jackson made the caller ID. There was no internet at a time. 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, there was no internet. You used to have to physically go wherever you wanted to go. There was no GPS. A sister made the GPS. You didn't know where you were going. You had to talk to somebody who was already there. There wasn't no internet. You had to see who had been there before. You had to talk to truck drivers. The people who worked at the gas station had to know the whole city. The bus driver knew all the routes. The cab driver knew the entire city. Now the goddamn GPS, don't nobody know how to find nothing. Let the grid go down. Let Verizon have a damn outage. Let the T-Mobile tower get shorted for a little bit. People be walking in circles, you understand? Like a malfunctioning magnet. Don't know where to go. Everybody knew where everything was because you had to, because you had no choice. Because if you didn't, you were going to get lost. That's right. You had to print those maps. You had to talk to the hotel. Yes, Miss June. Yeah, you're going to go past the McDonald's. This is McDonald's, 2 miles. You're going to see an Exxon gas station. You're going to see you got to go 3 lights past the Exxon gas station. And then once you do that, you're going to see a very big, it's going to be a pool. It's going to be a public pool, 3 trees, an apartment building, apartment complex on your left. You're going to make a right and go straight down there past Farmer Elementary School. The hotel is at the end of that street on Howard Johnson Road, and you're going to see it. You had landmarks. You didn't know what the hell was there, let alone if the landmark moved. You ain't been there in 5-10 years. You looking at the map. Damn, where's the McDonald's? Sir, can you tell me? I'm trying to find that. I do not know what it is. I am not sure. He ain't from America. He ain't from here. He don't know where nothing is in Richmond or Petersburg, Henrico. He don't know what street he on. He just left Bangladesh last week. Now he at the damn 7-Eleven. He can't get you directions. He don't know you're supposed to make a left after Miss Johnson's house, past the big peach tree, down on 3rd Street. He don't know. Now, these brothers and sisters have completely changed the entire world. You can get a picture of something where people don't even go. They'll show you the damn ocean. They got a drone flying above your head. Every time I open the laptop, it say, hey, this is drone footage from over Greece. Would you like to see Greece? We nosy as hell. We took some pictures. You want to see Nigeria? There's some stuff over here in Nigeria. We got drones over there. Want to look at the picture? They changed the world with the GPS, with the fiber optic cables for internet, HDMI. You used to watch TV, you couldn't see anything. TV was so bad, it was in black and white, till a Latino brother, Luis Camarena, Isupk from Mexico, Jose Luis Gonzalez Camarena. He created the color. TV used to be black and white. The reason you have color because of a mechanism. Used to read why TV is color. You understand? When the Lord said he made one people better than all the other people that he created, because Christianity does not teach us what's in the Bible, and we don't actually learn that the entire Bible is about race and one nation of people, that stops us from understanding how life actually functions. We've been robbed so much as a people, you wouldn't believe all the things that we've done since the beginning of time that everyone has just picked up on our culture. You understand? Hey, shalom, sis. Y'all Shemala thought Shemala. That's right. We use landmarks as our direction. You understand? That clock in Richmond was my halfway point. That's right. You understand? And that's how we will now. The world doesn't have to operate that way. You can come from your country and have never been in Richmond or Norfolk, and you will have all the directions that you need. All you got to do is put in the address, and the sister that made the GPS, the sister that made the fiber optic cables, the sister that's the reason we got internet all across the world because of her cables that's in the ocean. It's Dr. Shirley Jackson, the brother that made the cell phone, the brothers that made the laptop. So when God says, I made one people above all the other people that I created on the face of the earth, that's literally what it's talking about in the Bible. You understand? All of that dancing when the beat go on, moving your shoulders and moving all that soul train and popping and locking and twirling and spinning, that's our culture that they try to export and make white boy and Korean and Chinese bands. All that soul music. The other nations of people, they don't treat their women like we deal with our women. They ain't making no songs singing to their women. That's our culture. Damn near the whole Songs of Solomon is him spitting game. I'm black and I'm beautiful. Oh, ye daughters of Zion, come talk to your boy. You understand? Look not upon me, because the sun have smiled upon me. Your boy black and beautiful. Come get your son. That's the Songs of Solomon. Kirk Franklin ain't singing that part. Donnie McClurkin ain't singing that part. You understand? The Lord made us special. All right. Yaquan, hold me Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. But that's what the Lord was saying. All right. The Lord made one people special above all the other people. And by us joining another people, that weakens us to the point where we don't shine the way we're supposed to. Like everybody is using and wearing our culture. Think about hip hop alone. Hip hop music is the fastest and biggest growing genre of music on the planet. The Chinese man rapping and trying to be 50 Cent and G Unit and looking hard in the camera, trying to look like Latino gang members. Why? Because we the salt of the earth. You understand? The whole world was trying to be a damn New Yorker at one point because of hip hop. It's like a jungle sometimes. Maybe wonder how I'm keeping going under. Everybody was trying to do that. Wearing the Timberlands and the backpacks. The whole world was trying to be us. Then the saggy pants, the do-rag, the basketball jerseys, the football jerseys. You understand? Before, you used to be a football player wearing football jerseys. If you was wearing a football jersey, you was going to the game. The white boy wasn't wearing football jerseys out on the street unless it was the time for the game. Brothers in the street get the hat, get the jersey, get the shoes to match, coordinating it with the pants. That's our people culture. Matching that's our flavor in culture. The other nations of people put 10 colors together. They don't give a damn what it looked like. You understand? Like God called us the salt of the earth, the flavor. You understand? That's not their culture. Most of what the world is selling is making, a lot of it is being sold to us. We the biggest consumers in America. America got the biggest consumer-based economy on the planet. And we the biggest consumers in the United States of America, spending trillions of dollars every single year. That means the world that's doing business with America, most of what they are creating, they selling to us. The other nations of people ain't buying nothing but guns and land and houses. Everything else we buy. But we wouldn't be buying any of it if we controlled all of it, because we obeyed the Lord and we stayed separate like he said. That would make us so wise. You understand? Read what you got, Yaquab.
Come on. The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Most High have spoken against you.
The Lord saying, listen to this, what God is saying against you. Keep going.
O children of Israel.
This is only, O children of Israel. The Lord in the Bible is not talking to everybody in the world. He only talking to the children of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's the children of Israel. Keep going.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Against the family. The Lord called us his family. We are one family of people. The only reason we've been separated for so long is because the oppressor put us in slavery. That's the only reason you grew up separate from Latinos if you didn't grow up with Latinos. You grew up separate from Benjamites, from so-called West Indians. If you didn't grow up with West Indians and Mexicans and Colombians and Venezuelans, it is because of the so-called white man. If you didn't grow up with Native Americans and Gadites and Reubenites, it is because the white man separated us. You understand? Keep going.
Saying,
what the Lord say, Yaquab? What do you say?
Verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
This is how you hit that. You pause at the only. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. When you say all the families of the earth, you have the reader reiterate that again. Read it again.
You only have I known of all.
That's right. You
the
only
family of the earth.
You of all the families of the earth. What are the families of the earth that God is talking about? The Chinese, that is a family of the earth. The so-called Moabites, that is the Chinese and the majority of the Asians in the Bible. The Ammonites, the so-called Japanese, that is a family in the earth. You understand? The Elamites, Elam, the so-called East Indians from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, they are a family of the earth. The Edomites, the so-called white man, the French, the Dutch, the Russian, the German, Ukrainian, Irish, the Scottish, the British, the American, all the white man in his many forms. They are the Edomites in the Bible, the nation of Edom. You understand? The Africans, so-called Hamites, of the families of the Africans, their most prominent families. You have Cush or Kawash. They are the so-called Ethiopians. You got Put or Pawat. You understand? You got South Africans. You got all of these other nations. These things here, they are families of the earth. And out of all the families of all the people that God created, only one is his family that he deals with as a people. Keep going.
Therefore, I will punish you for all of your iniquities.
It's a colossal. That's right. Only, solely, exclusively, without anything further indicating, one of a kind, nothing else. The Lord don't have any other type of people. He only deal with one people. That's right, brother. Keep going.
Verse 3. Can two walk together?
Right. You can go ahead and stop there. The Lord said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, meaning because of this, I'm going to punish you for everything that you do wrong because I told you not to do it. That's what it says there. That's black parent talk. Those are not my kids. That's not my kids. You understand? I'm your father. I'm your daddy. I told you not to do it. I didn't tell them nothing. Them ain't my kids. I don't give a damn what they do. You only, of all the other people on the earth and all their families, and because I only deal with you, you're going to get punished for everything you do wrong because I gave you instructions and I don't give a damn what Jimmy did. Jimmy ain't my son. I told you not to do it. That's black parent talk. Black, Latino, Native American. That's race in the Bible. You understand? Right there. Every parent understands that. That's in the Bible. All right? And that's what the Lord said. Give me Leviticus chapter, see the wisdom that the Lord gave us. Sometimes I'll take me Leviticus chapter 15. Leviticus chapter 15.
Come on, sir. Starting at verse 1.
Chapter 15 and verse 1. The Lord gave us a wisdom. Yes, and this wisdom will keep us alive. And because of this wisdom the Lord gave us, it kept a lot of other people alive too, because they were supposed to follow us. They were supposed to do what the Lord had instructed us, and we would be their light to give them instruction. And that's what we've been doing, but we've lost our savor as a people by joining them and taking their culture. So give me Leviticus chapter, you can start at 1 and 2.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 1. Chapter 15, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses
2.
and to Aaron, saying,
the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron. The Lord did not speak to everybody. The Lord has never spoke to everybody. You think God is talking to you? You talking to your damn self. God is not talking to you. God talked to one man. And that one man got instructions to tell the men under him, and those men got instructions to repeat exactly what they were told to the people under them. You have never spoke to God directly. I have never spoke to God directly. The Lord deals with Commander General Yohana. Commander General Yohana tells the men under him, and we all repeat exactly what the Lord told him to say. That is how it has always been in the Bible. You understand? Christianity has made our people damn near schizophrenic, thinking that God is talking to everybody individually when God hasn't given you the winning Powerball number. God didn't tell you not to take that route before you got that traffic ticket. God didn't tell you not to have sex with those people. God didn't tell you not to go that place because you was going to get shot. God didn't tell you not to smoke because you was going to struggle to quit smoking for the rest of your life. God didn't tell you none of the important stuff. God don't talk to you. It's a lie. They lied to you. You listening to what God's saying right now, because I'm repeating what God said in the Bible. That's how you know what God said. Shalom, brother. Keep going.
Verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel.
Talking again. That's what we just read. God only deals with the children of Israel. None of these laws, statutes, and commandments is dealing with anybody else. Keep going.
And say unto them.
This is what you're going to tell them. Keep going.
When any man hath a running issue out of his flesh.
If any man has an issue out of his flesh, an issue, he got something coming out of his flesh, anything pouring out of his flesh, bleeding, he's sick, got some illness causing sores or pus or drainage, any issue coming out of his flesh, keep going.
Because of his issue, he is unclean.
He's unclean. He's going to tell you he's unclean. It's telling you here, got an issue in his flesh, he's unclean. Why is this important? We're going to read and find out. Keep going.
Verse 3. And Salaki, and this shall be his uncleanness in his issue.
Meaning this is what the uncleanness is going to be. Shalom. She'll break it down.
Shalom.
The uncleanness of his issue. All right, that'll work. All right. Shem shall break it down. This will be the uncleanness of his issue. Keep going.
Whether his flesh run with his issue,
I think it's too much. Say it again.
Whether his flesh run with his issue,
right. There's an issue. You understand? He's sick. Some sickness, some illness. Something is pouring out of him that should not be. It's continuous. It's running. He's bleeding. He's got something that's going on. Pus, drainage, some medical condition pouring out of his flesh. He is unclean. It's going to explain why. Because he could be this sickness or whatever his uncleanness is, you and him, you need to be separated from it. There's no doctor, there's no 911 emergency, there's no medevac, there's no MedStar, there's no Sarah, there's no trauma unit, there's no vaccine, no vitamins available, there's no Advil, the Tylenol, cold and flu, Alka-Seltzer, sinuses, there's no penicillin, no oxycodone, none of that. We in the wilderness, and the Lord gave us instructions without anything else of what to do. Give me verse 4.
verse 4. Every bed
meaning if he's sick on his bed, he got the flu, he got drainage coming out of his body or something, he got a wound that's bleeding, pus and festering, he's sick, he's ill, anything. Keep going.
whereon he lieth that hath the issue,
anything he lie on, any bed, he's sick, he's bedridden, he's ill, whatever he touch, whatever he lies on. Keep going.
is unclean.
It's unclean. You need to know it's unclean because you might go in there and touch or lie on whatever it is he touched or lie on, and he's sick, he's ill, he's bleeding, he got snot coming out of his nose, he's sick, pus or blood or some illness pouring out of his body, leaking out of his body. He is unclean. So that you don't run in there and jump on that bed or touch it or get in there and sit on it, and you end up sick, and before you know it, the whole damn village dies. That's what happens in Africa. Somebody catch cholera, somebody in there bleeding from the mouth and having diarrhea, they sitting around on the floor trying to hug him, bleeding from the damn eyes, sneezing, diarrhea all over each other. Before you know it, half their damn tribe is dead. Why? Because the Lord only gave these rules to the children of Israel, and they haven't had contact with the children of Israel. So they still doing things that could get everybody killed because they have not been watching the children of God. And they are at a great deficit, just like everyone should be at a great deficit if they are not following the children of God. That's why Christ said, ye are the salt of the earth, the light of the world. We give the world the instructions. Now, if you get sick, they'll quarantine you. Even in the hospital, they got a special ward for ICU. If you're a baby, they got a special place to put you if you're a baby. It's called the nursery. If you're a little baby, and you're not a regulation size baby, something going on. They got a special place inside of the special place called the NICU, the intensive unit, where the premium and the sick babies go. You understand? They got all kind of wards. They got geriatrics. They got divisions and separations. Why? To divide up the uncleanness so that, keep reading,
and everything whereon he sitteth.
Keep going.
Shall be unclean.
Shall be unclean. Whatever he sit on is going to be unclean. So everybody know, I don't sit there. Jimmy's sick as hell. He's in there throwing up earlier. Oh, I'm all right. No, you don't throw up and then come be next to us while you coughing and sneezing and got the throw up mouth, touching everything, spreading your throw up germs everywhere. Oh, I got diarrhea. You can't go be around other people. Before there's a journal of medicine or a hospital or a pediatrician or an emergency room, the Lord called it an uncleanness. So if you can't stop going to the toilet, you can't be around us. We need to know that you got some sickness, that if we come be around you, that the rest of us are going to get diarrhea. The rest of us are going to get the flu. The rest of us are going to get what you got. You have to be quarantined, separated, so that we don't all catch what you have until you get better. That's in the Bible. Imagine how this changes the world. If before a plague broke out, the bubonic plague, Black Death, COVID, and nobody knew to separate you. Damn. Yaquab over there coughing like hell. Damn. Shemagabar coughing like hell now. Oh, Yaquab just threw up. God damn it, Shemagabar threw up. Let me go over here and pat Shemagabar on the back. Shemagabar, you all right? Damn, you sneezing like it. Shit. And before you know it, everybody's sneezing. Everybody's sick. Everybody got the flu. The Lord gave us commandments so that that didn't happen. Without this, everybody stays huddled around the sick person, wondering what's wrong. And then everybody gets sick. And then nobody gets better. And before you know it, people start dying. And if you don't have any medicine to get better, depending on how bad the sickness is, guess what happens? It becomes a long sickness. And then it spreads to other places and other villages. And before you know it, you got a plague. This is how you stop a plague. One sick person at a time. This is in the Bible. Before a hospital, before a doctor, before any journal of medicine and science, the Lord gave us these commandments. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 5. And whosoever toucheth his bed shall wash his clothes.
And if you touch his sick bed where he was sick, you have to do what?
Wash his clothes.
Wash your clothes. Yeah, that's Israelite customs, washing your clothes. The other nations of people, they don't believe in washing their clothes. You don't believe me? Go get around them Elamites, see if they washing their clothes. Right. Go get around them East Indians, see if they washing their clothes. Go get around Esau. Go to school with Esau, see if they washing their clothes. Are they going to wash their clothes every day? They ain't got but two outfits. 95% of the time you see them, they wearing one of their two outfits. They couldn't have washed it every day. We the people that buy 1,000 pair of socks and 1,000 pair of drawers and 1,000 shoes and 1,000 shirts and 1,000 wife beaters, different colors, different sizes, different everything. That's us. That's our custom. The rest of the world ain't filling up their closets with stuff until they come to America, until they get exposed to the culture that we have changed the world with. Then they start to, I gotta wash up. I shouldn't smell like the jungle because I come from the jungle. I gotta get soap and water. I should use a washcloth. Maybe I can't just dip my clothes in water. Maybe there's something I got to put on the clothes to get them clean. Before you know it, they selling detergent, they selling fragrances, they selling everything, all kind of stuff to get you clean and sanitized, because that is Israelite custom in the Bible. When the Christian church teaches us that we don't have to keep God's laws, again, it is such a disservice, because you don't even know what the laws are saying. You don't even know what they say. It said you're supposed to wash those clothes. Keep going.
And bathe himself in water.
Hold up. And do what?
Bathe himself in water.
Now, this might be cliche enough, but everybody don't practice bathing themselves in water. They barely do it now. They for damn sure wasn't doing it way back then, BC era, before Christ. They wasn't bathing them. They might have jumped in the river every once and then. They may have went for a swim. They may have been out on a fishing boat. Somebody fall over and got to swim back to the canoe. But everybody wasn't purposely bathing themselves in water. It didn't say dip yourself in water. It didn't say go jump in the lake and swim around like the white boys in the horror movie. It said bathe yourself in water. Wash your tail. Get it clean. Not wet. Clean. Wash your clothes. It said wash your clothes. It didn't say wet your clothes up. It said wash them. That means clean them. And bathe yourself. Clean yourself. Keep going.
And be unclean until the even.
And then it's unclean until the sun goes down. Why? So that everybody knows that something has happened there, and that we can separate everything. Once the sun goes down, you got a decent measure of time of how long before it's clean. It's washed. It's got to dry. You got to be washed. Your clothes got to be washed. The sheets got to be washed. Clean that bed up so that all the sickness and illness dies before somebody else gets it. That is brotherhood. That's brotherhood. This is the love of God. Somebody pull Shemagabar, give me that scripture. The love of God is to keep your commandments. Right. Meaning if you love God, when you get sick, you get everybody else sick. That's right. You won't spread your illness everywhere. You won't spread your flu. You won't spread your cold. You won't spread your diarrhea. You won't spread your herpes. You won't spread your syphilis and your AIDS and your gonorrhea everywhere. Everybody talking, I'm blessed and highly favored, burning all of Atlanta and Houston to the damn ground out the drawers. Why? Because nobody knows the love of God. Jesus said, the love is in my heart. We all do whatever the hell we want. But that's not how God set the world up. Think about if an illness broke out and that illness got contained in quarantine. Everybody else is sick. Well, we can't go over there. It's about 5 or 6 brothers and sisters sick. And then before you know it, the sickness stops. Lord willing, they get better. Now they would say these people are wise. When Esau left Europe, dying of the bubonic plague, they bought blankets with smallpox, meaning they were that filthy that they carried with them their own blankets that were positive for diseases because they did not bathe themselves in water. They did not wash their clothes. They did not wash their behinds. I think it was custom. They said for them to have a bath maybe once or twice a year, something crazy. The goal was to find a woman who had just a little bit of lice, not no lice, but as little lice as possible. Light on the lice, light on the mites and the bed bugs and the worms. That's how filthy they were. That's why when they came here, as soon as they interacted with the Native Americans, Gad started to die immediately. That's how filthy the so-called the oppressor was, the Europeans were. This was not their culture. This was our culture. And now the whole world is thinking, well, once society gets fixed right, we got to get showers. We got to get baths. We got to wash and bathe ourselves. Why? Because that's what the Israelites do. Now, because we don't serve God, we don't get the credit for keeping the culture that God gave us. Washing your behind is Israelite customs. Washing your clothes is Israelite customs. Quarantining somebody that's sick, that's Israelite customs. They credit Denmark and Sweden and Europe and Scotland and all of the in East India and all of their doctors and medical sciences. They don't credit the children of Israel because we stopped obeying the Lord, and now we have no name and no reputation. So who gets credit for the cell phone? The salt of the world has lost its flavor. They could just throw you under their feet, and now China takes credit for the iPhone. It's say made in China. I guarantee that she's in the fiber optic cables don't know Dr. Shirley Jackson. The caller ID software that's in all of the phones, I guarantee you they don't know Dr. Shirley Jackson. Frederick McKinley Jones built the technology for a refrigerated freezer. Think of all the food that has to travel, all the medicine that has to travel and maintain a certain temperature. It'll bad, it'll spoil, it'll rot before it makes it to your pharmacy or before it makes it to your grocery store. That brother created. Now the whole world has access to it. They mass producing the medicine in the Philippines and in Guam. Said we are the salt of the earth, not all people. All right, keep going. Give me. Keep reading, Taza.
Come on. Verse 6. And he that sitteth on anything whereon he sat that hath the issue shall wash his clothes.
He that sits on anything, if you sit on anything that's sick, it's gonna be unclean. Everybody gonna know, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Watch out. Watch out. Don't touch that. Which name is it? It becomes that. Now they have entire branches. They got entire wings. Every city, every established town. They got hospitals, pharmacies, medicines, clinics, doctors. You understand? This was built into our culture. This would make us a what type of society? I'm gonna let y'all answer that while they keep reading. Give me verse 8.
Come on, verse 8. And if he that hath the issue spit upon him that is clean.
If he have an issue,
You want me to keep going, sir?
right. Right. That's it on that. That's it on that. Wash your clothes, wash your hands, wash your sheet, wash your bed. The whole thing. That's it on that. All right. Okay. They said you froze, Mataza. I think we should be good now. That's what the scripture is saying. Who got 1 John 5 and 3?
Can I do, sir?
Go ahead.
This is 1 John
Shalom,
5.
brother. Jim shall break it down.
This is first John 5:3. For this is the love of God.
This is what love is. God said, this is the love of God. This is what it means. This is how you define it. God's love is not a feeling. It's not just how you feel. This is the love of God. Keep going.
That we keep his commandments.
Right. That you keep in his commandments is the love of God. Drop that. Take me to Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 1.
Come on. This is the book of Deuteronomy,
Just
chapter
so that
11.
you know, this is a precept that tells you what love is. It's in the New Testament. It's also in the Old Testament. If you didn't know where it was, here it is. Deuteronomy 11 and 1. It's your precept. Go ahead.
Come. This is Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 1. Write this down. Therefore, thou shalt love the Most High power.
The Most High, thy power. So you're supposed to love the Most High, thy power. Thy G-O-D, we translate to power. Think of how much power this gives us as a nation of people if we know how to stop disease from spreading. Think of how much power that gives you. Think of the countries that don't have good hygiene and how much sickness and disease spreads amongst their children, amongst their babies, how filthy without cleanliness and disease and illness spreads, all kind of bloodborne illnesses and pathogens, entire regions of the planet that are known to carry dengue fever, that are known to carry jaundice. Before you go to certain parts of Africa, you have to take shots for weeks before you can go to Africa. All your safari trips to Ghana and Kenya and Nairobi and Uganda, you can't just leave America and go there. You get bitten by one mosquito, you'll be dead in a couple days. Somebody sneeze on you, you'll be in the emergency room. Often, just like the scripture said, you'll be in quarantine. You understand? Why? Why would you be in quarantine? Hey, shalom, brother. Why would you be in quarantine? Because they're not clean. They're not the way that the Lord set these things up. Keep going.
And keep his charge.
Keep his charge. A charge are orders. Keep his responsibility. Meaning you have a responsibility to keep God's rules alive in the earth. The Lord gets his reputation based on us obeying him. The reputation for the God of the Hebrews, the God of the children of Israel, came from the Lord delivering us out of Egypt. His reputation is tied to our conduct, just like a good parent tells you what before you go to the store. What is your parent going to tell you before you go to the store? What are they going to say before you go somewhere? Before we get in here, before we get to my friend's house, what is your mama, what is your parents going to tell to you? What are they going to say? We give some of y'all a chance to answer. What they going to say? She going to say? She going to say, your mama going to say, have fun, have a good time? Where all the mamas at? What they going to say? What's the word, Mom? You understand? What's the word? Is the pep talk going to be? I just want you to have fun. Just do as much as you would like. I just want everybody to have fun and enjoy yourselves and be free and express yourself however you feel because mama love you. What they going to say? That's right. Don't you get in here and act a fool. You understand? That's right. Act like you got some sense. That's right, DeVar. Act like you got some sense. Come on, mamas. Don't touch nothing, and you better act like you got some sense. Don't show off in here. You show off, I'm gonna show off. You understand? Don't be asking for food. You ate before you got here. Don't act like you ain't never had nothing before. Don't touch nothing. Don't ask for nothing. You cannot stay. You're not staying. Don't ask me. You understand? You better act like you got some home training. Don't you embarrass me in here. You embarrass me, I'm embarrass you. You're not starving. You already ate. You cannot stay. You are not spending the night. Do not ask me. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. That's the talk. You understand? Well, this is what the Lord is saying throughout the Bible. He's just repeating it over and over again throughout the Bible. Hold on, I lost my place. Hold on, Shemaiah Bar. Said to keep his charge. Meaning it's your responsibility to keep this. Keep reading.
And his statutes.
His statutes, his charge. You getting the charge of you better act right. That's the charge. You getting the charge in there. He giving you his charge to uphold what I taught you before you get in here amongst these people. And his statutes, the rules about how things are supposed to go. These laws. You got laws amongst yourself. You're not supposed to be a lawless people. Just robbing and stealing and doing whatever. That's not how you're supposed to be. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you. I'm not beating everybody's kids. You going to get the punishment because I only deal with you. You are my family of all the people on the earth. This is what the Lord is saying. Keep going.
And his judgments.
The judgments are the punishments for breaking the law. You should not be in a land where there is no established judgment for your behavior. Everybody should not be free to do whatever they want, live however they want, say whatever they want, wear whatever they want. We went over last week. A man is not supposed to dress himself in a way that make you think this is a woman. A woman is not allowed to dress herself in such a way to make you or her think that she is a man. You understand? You aren't allowed to have sex with somebody's daughter and throw her away. You aren't allowed to trick and hustle and scam your way up to goods for multiple men, having sex with them, pretending like that the father trying to give you away as a pure, righteous daughter, and you done already been with another man. We're not supposed to have sneaky linking and sneaking around and all of this here. That's how the land gets destroyed and the Lord's reputation gets destroyed. And our reputation as a people get destroyed. It's an evil thing that we are supposed to carry, whether we're in Mexico, in Brazil, in Jamaica, in America, in Canada, in the UK, wherever we go. These laws and rules and our customs that come from the God of our fathers are supposed to go with us. And that will put us in a certain standing in that land, and that will keep the Lord's protection on us. Because everywhere we go, another nation of people has always been trying to overtake us. That's why King David had 40 years of war. They wouldn't leaving us alone. They saw the Lord took care of us better than they could take care of themselves, and then they wanted to come and take us and take our stuff. Same thing happened in America. Rosewood, Florida, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Philadelphia, the town that's under Lake Lanier right now in Alabama, the Devil's Punch Bowl in Mississippi, everywhere we go. Lincoln, Nebraska, 1919, the Bloody Red Summer, everywhere we go and set up, they get jealous and want to come and steal from us. That's why we must obey the Lord. You understand? Keep going.
Come. And his commandments.
And his commandments. Go ahead. There's more on there. Finish that.
Always.
Always. Always. Always. That's in there. Always. We always supposed to do that. All right. That's what the Lord said. We got a question in there. I was in Matazah Kara. Says, Salaki, can I get a breakdown on Joel chapter 1 and 4? Is it a metaphor for destruction? All right. Well, yes. I mean, it is a metaphor for destruction. Go ahead and read Joel 1 and chapter 3.
Like it's a 1 in verse 3.
Hold on 1 second. Start at verse 2. Because he's talking to him. Joel is prophesying. Yeah, start at 2.
Come. This is the book of Joel, chapter 1, verse 2. Hear this, ye old men.
Listen to this, old men. Keep going.
And give ear.
Give your ear. Pay attention.
All ye inhabitants of the land.
Come on. Everybody that lives here. You live on the land. Keep going.
Hath this been in your days?
Keep going.
Or even in the days of your fathers?
This is a question. Has this happened while you've been alive, or has this happened in the time of your forefathers? He's asking a question. Keep going.
Verse 3. Tell ye your children of it.
Tell this to your children. Precept. Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy fathers, and they shall tell thee. A big problem with what we were having as a people is the older generation stopped teaching about their life. They stopped teaching about the generations before. That's how everybody started to fall in love with the oppressor. They didn't tell them about dogs getting sicked on them and being called the N-word and chased out of town, and German shepherds and not being able to eat certain places and having to come through the back door and having to hide. They didn't want to tell you about life being black, being Mexican. They want to tell you about the fun part, all the parts where you get to go to the baseball game together, not the part where we lost Negro leagues. When now there's one team that's worth billions of dollars, and some rich white owner gets $1 billion, when it used to be 5 teams in a city or 5 teams in a state. And instead of having one rich white man split $1 billion and bust down $600-700 million or $300-400 million between the 20 players on his team and the coaching staff, it would be 5 or 6 teams in one state. You'd have Cleveland, you'd have Cincinnati, you have Akron. You understand? You'd have multiple cities that have a state. You'd have a team in Norfolk, a team in Richmond. You understand? You'd have a team in Franklin. Have a damn team up in Woodbridge, a team in Arlington. And before you know it, rather than one white man bust down $1 billion or 2, you'd have 5 black owners with all black coaches, all black players, all black cities, all black towns, splitting up 100,000, splitting up 500,000-600,000, $500,000. And then before you know it, the cities surrounding those areas where the teams would play would get the benefit of all the traffic, all the people, all the concession stands, Miss Johnson making the pies, cousin Willie making the chili in outside the damn game, hot wings and all kind of dogs and sausages and burgers and popcorn and the black candy maker. All of that money would stay with us. It wouldn't be $1 billion. It wouldn't be $100 million, but it might be 6, 7, 800,000 divided up between 5 cities where we busting that down thousands of dollars. Independent black family owners and businesses, we were making real money amongst each other. It wasn't great everywhere. We weren't living wonderful and lavish everybody, but we had a good amount of wealth and we stayed to ourselves. Our money stayed within each other. We built roads and schools and cities and banks, even train stations and airports. We were doing fine and we were on a straight incline until the white man came from the white side of town and burned the damn thing to the ground. Everywhere. For 100 years. That's what happened.
That's right.
You understand? So he's saying, tell your children. A lot of when we get off track, we stop telling our children what happened. Kids today don't know about the crack epidemic. They don't know that it's a bad thing to be a junkie, to morning and have to roll up or shoot up in your veins or pop pills to get high all day. And you got to pop pills all day to stay high all day. That's a bad thing. Sisters don't understand that it's a bad thing to have sex with multiple men. That's a hoe. You understand? That was not something to aspire to be a woman having sex with lots of men. That was a prostitute, a streetwalker, a floozy, a hoochie, a hoe. You were not supposed to desire to be one of them. They're not supposed to be the good guy or the hero or someone that everybody looks to. And we're going to quote what they say and live their life. The many generations are supposed to tell you what is the tragedy behind being a hoe, behind having sex with different people, all the diseases that come behind that, all the fights and abuses and relationships you get yourself in doing things the Lord said not to do, the tragedies that come behind that, all the shootings that come behind all of the problems that you keeping going when you getting into relationships with people that think you being taken seriously. And then you understand you got a boyfriend and a husband and a baby daddy that all end up shooting at each other. That's the part that don't get brought up. You understand? Talking about how terrible you felt after you killed your baby, after the abortion. How you think about what that son or daughter could have become every day of your life. You think about that. How you went and sold drugs and you watch your best friend get his brains blown out his face, selling weed, selling pills, selling coke. Consider the years of many generations. Everybody only hearing the fun part. They ain't hearing the part about how most of the people you grew up with died in the streets trying to be goddamn Tony Montana, or the 10 years you spent behind that wall when the judge say you're not going home, when there is no bail, when you get a new cellmate, when you got to sit in the pod. You understand? When you got to wait for your court date, when your parole get denied, when your mama can't afford the bail money, she's trying to convince the judge to let you go. You understand? You ain't mentioning the many years of many generations. All you doing is singing the goddamn Happy Days song all the time. The Lord didn't say that. Tell them about them dogs getting sick on you. All the bumps and bruises and broken ribs from the white man's fire department spraying the hose on you. The police pulling you over, beating you up and throwing you in a rival neighborhood. Throwing brothers off the precinct roof. Before you go think that the blue wall of silence is going to protect you being black or brown, trying to do the right thing to change the system from within. Tell them about you trying to change the system from inside the military, where they put all the black soldiers on the front line to die first, where they let the white boys go home and get the medal and you don't get the rewards and you on the field keeping everybody alive. Tell them the real story. Stop saluting the damn flag and singing along and God bless America. Tell the truth. The problem is, don't nobody want to tell the goddamn truth. That's why the Lord have to keep saying, you old men, tell your children. Tell them what the hell has been going on. Tell them why we in this situation. Tell them how everybody decided it was better to stop fighting and go join the white man. Why he took everybody's house. Why he stole everybody's money. Why they put the woman in charge of the family, then took the economy that fed the black-owned businesses. And now she raising kids by herself. And they growing up and becoming the gang members shooting up the whole city. Why everybody moved out the neighborhood that lived someplace you could afford. All the fruit trees died once we integrated because the white man poisoned them. So you have to tell them about the many years of many generations, old men. They don't want to do that. They don't want to talk about that. The Christian church say if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Well, the Lord said you better tell the goddamn truth so you can save somebody's life. Everybody lying to blacks and Latinos. They lied and said you're going to get citizenship if you go join the military. All the deported veterans in Jamaica, in Haiti, in Mexico, in El Salvador, in a military uniform right now. Talk about the many generations, ye old men. This is what the Lord is saying, man. Keep reading.
And let your children tell their children.
Let your children tell their children. You ain't passing the stories along. Why did everybody move from North and South Carolina? Why did y'all leave the Carolinas? Why you left Mississippi and came up to Chicago? How did you end up in Memphis? Why did y'all leave Mississippi? Huh? Why? What you left Georgia for? Why'd you leave it? Because it was full of equality? Because it was full of love? Because race doesn't matter? No, that ain't why you left. You left because of the Knights of Columbus. That's why you left. Because of cross burnings. That's why you left. You understand? Because of lynchings and towns getting burned down. That's why you left. Because race does matter. Because your skin color does matter. Because who your father is does matter. But you don't want to talk about that. Well, God said it better be talked about. Keep going.
And their children another generation.
Let each generation pass down the story. You ain't telling the truth about what happened when we was in Africa. Black people moving back to Africa getting scammed. Getting scammed by the West and the East Africans. Talking about the year to return. You ain't telling the truth about what happened when we was on the West Coast of Africa. How the damn woman king, the homie warriors was hunting us down. You go watch that movie with Viola Davis. They got the skulls of the children, the men and women and children that they slaughtered and murdered, drinking blood and doing blood sacrifices while everybody praised Viola Davis for pretending to be a goddamn African cannibal warrior, the Dahomey warriors. You understand? That was selling us to the white man, to the Portuguese, to Spain, to Britain, to England, to Scotland, to the Dutch. They were selling us. And now, because you don't get told the years of many generations, you pretending to be the Africans that sold your mother and father into slavery on the big screen. And the Africans looking at you like you a damn fool. Because they ain't told you the truth. How you made up that identity. That Moorish, I'm a Moorish scientist, that garbage and the sovereign citizens, that garbage showed up in the 90s. That showed up in the 90s. Commander General Yohana explained that setup, and then black people try to go and create a new identity for themselves based on being copper colored. And copper colored Indians. And I'm a copper color this because my skin is brown. All this nonsense trying to make up an identity when the Lord sent the prophets of God in the UPK since the 60s to tell you exactly who you are. But you wanted to go join Islam. And now all the brothers in Islam, you're in jail. Mosque number 7 flooded heroin all throughout of Philly. Mosque everywhere. Drugs right next door. You voted. Now you get to vote. So you get on the Senate floor and they call you the N-word. They call you ghetto. They use cold words to talk about you. The bad side of town, the alternative community, the urban community, the super predator. They got every other proverb and byword other than calling you the N-word, and you wearing they suit and tie and they seat thinking you changing life for your people. Every city, war zone. Chicago, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Richmond, DC, Baltimore, Philly, New Orleans, every city. Detroit, Memphis, Nashville, everywhere we are, voting like hell. Black police, black commissioner, change the system from within. Talk about how it worked. How you didn't need to change the system from within because there was fathers that ran the whole damn community. And everybody was in the house at a certain time, and nobody got missing, nobody got strung out, nobody ended up in prison, nobody got pregnant and left. All of that garbage stopped at the door. Talk about the many years of many generations. You didn't want to talk about that. You started going to church, you shaved your beard, got rid of your hair, and you let Big Mama run the house. And then the whole damn house fell apart. God said, you better teach the years of many generations. That's what's in the Bible. The Lord loved history. You understand? History is important. That's why the white man banning books right now. Keep going. Give me 4.
Verse 4. That which the palmer worm hath left, hath the locust eaten.
Whatever the worms have left, a much bigger, more terrible plague have eaten the rest of it up. Everything is gone. A worm is a small creature. Worms will eat, chew up your wood, chew up everything else. The locust will eat your crops, your corn, your cotton, anything growing. The locust gonna come and tear it apart. That means everything is gone. Keep going.
And that which the locust hath left, hath the cankerworm eaten.
The cankerworm, whatever the locust didn't destroy, a worm that didn't eat it up, a different worm have left all kind of poison in it. Now it'll make you sick if you eat it. You heard of canker sores, something eating inside of you, eating up your organs, eating up your healthy tissue. Well, on top of the worm that's eating up your trees so that they don't grow, then you got another locust that's killing your crops. And then whatever the worm that eats your trees doesn't destroy, there's another worm inside of it making you sick, making it poisonous. Keep going.
And that which the cankerworm hath left, hath the caterpillar eaten.
And whatever the cankerworm couldn't destroy, it then fell on the ground, and the caterpillar then chewed up whatever then fell. Everything is gone. He said, make sure you tell this to the generations. Tell them, because it wasn't like this before. This ain't how it was to be full of fruit trees. And now there are no more fruit trees. There was a garden in the front and the back, and now ain't no more gardening no more. We eating out of bags. We don't know where it comes from. The oppressor might cut us off any day. You understand? Like the Lord is furious. That's why he sent Joel. Joel was sent to deliver something heavy. Once you get to Joel, the 2nd chapter, he started talking about slavery. He started talking about World War III, the oppressor going in chains. The Lord sent Joel to deliver brimstone. You understand? Sulfur and brimstone. That's what Joel's mission was. So is your question a breakdown? Is it a metaphor for destruction? Yes. It's absolutely a metaphor for destruction. Complete destruction. You understand? The same destruction the Lord said would happen if we did not obey him, then we would be cursed in the city and cursed in the field. A nation that we didn't know would eat up everything that we have. The worms would destroy it. Your brass, your sky would turn to brass. Your ground wouldn't produce anymore. All of this, the Lord told us what would happen. So absolutely. All right. That's absolutely correct. It's a good scripture there. All right.
The water, sir.
All right. So let's get some more. Are you on the bar? All right. What else we got? Anybody holding something? All right, good. We got that question. Raj, take me to Leviticus, the 11th chapter. Want to get Leviticus, the 11th chapter. Hold that.
God, sir. Do you know what verse,
And
sir?
the Lord gave us some wisdom. Start at verse 2, Baba Kishore.
God, sir. Leviticus chapter 11, verse 2.
Right.
Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts
right.
which ye shall eat.
This is what you tell the children. That's right. Come. These are the beasts that you are going to eat. God tells us what animals we can and cannot eat. God says what animals you can and cannot eat. Everybody else in the world eats whatever the hell they want. They bust it upside the head. Sometimes they cook it. Sometimes they just bite the hell out of it. The Moabites don't even wait for it to be done. They just bite the hell out of it. Octopus bite them back. They don't give a damn.
Right.
I seen a broad swallow a goldfish. Old pale-faced ghost Moabite with the smashed up eyes. You understand? The Lord said, don't be like them. They are not wise. You understand? This is what the Lord said.
Among all the beasts that are on the earth.
All the beasts on the earth. The Lord tell us all the beasts that's on the earth. All right. Skip me down to verse 5.
Verse 5. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud.
Salakia, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, sir. Salakia. Karawakam.
The coney. Okay, Most High in Christ, no sweat. The coney is a rabbit that lives by the sea. You might not be familiar with a coney, but skip to verse 6. 6 is something you be familiar with. The Lord tell us what we can and can't eat. Hold Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, Officer Yaquab, for me.
Leviticus chapter
Shemagaba,
11,
hold
verse
me
6.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 17. Keep going, Urash. Give me 6.
And the hare.
It's the hare.
Because
the hare is a rabbit. He cheweth the cud. The cud is the grass. Chews up grass. Keep going.
Because he cheweth the cud.
Right. He eats the grass. Keep going.
But divideth not the hoof.
But he don't have a divided hoof. He has a paw. Keep going.
He is unclean unto you.
He's unclean. You cannot eat a rabbit. You can't eat a rabbit. Peter Cottontail, you can't eat him. You can't grow rabbits for food, for meat. You cannot follow the other nations of people and eat a rabbit. God forbid us from doing that. It doesn't matter if you can grow a special rabbit. Doesn't matter if you can grow a rabbit with more meat. Doesn't matter if it's a sustainable growth. God said you cannot eat this animal. You're not a dog. You're not a wolf. You're not a fox. You're not a wild beast in the jungle or the safari or the desert. that just catches whatever the hell you can, and you just tear into it and you must eat it. God gave us rules on what is food and what is not food. A rabbit is not food. Think of those pictures there where you see the Hamites. You see the dusty Hamites in the jungle looking like they're full of hepatitis and all manner of blood-borne illnesses, and they chewing on monkey face, and they got a head in a pot, and you looking at teeth sitting in the damn pot and a paw sticking up out the water, and they looking sick as can be with all kind of cuts and scrapes and discoloration and disfigurements. God said we're not supposed to be like that. You don't just pick something up and just shove it in your damn face. You understand? We are the people that they look to get the example of what to eat and what not to eat. We aren't supposed to take their example of what to eat. That's why the Lord put it in the Bible. This is God's love telling us what we can and cannot eat. Give me verse 7.
Verse 7. And the swine.
The swine is a pig. Pig. Hog. You understand? You cannot eat a pig. Keep going.
Though he divide the hoof.
Right. You got a split hoof. Keep going.
And be cloven footed.
He got a split foot. He got a hoof. His foot is split up the proper way. Keep going.
Yet he cheweth not the cud.
He doesn't chew the cud. He's unclean unto you. You can't do that. These are the animals that's on land. You understand? Skip me down to verse 10. When you go to the water, the Lord is going to tell you, you look at that water, it's stuff in that water that you can eat, but it's a lot of stuff in the water you can't eat. Anything that comes out of the water, the Lord is going to tell you, these are the beasts that you can eat. All right? Give me the first part of verse 9.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Everything that's in the water. This is the Lord going to specify. If you find something in the water and you catch it and you might want to eat it. How do I cannot eat? Can I just eat whatever? Can I snatch up a squid or an octopus or an electric eel? Suppose it's a big starfish in there. What can I eat? I just catch whatever and just beat it up like a Moabite and chop it up and put it in the stew? Keep going.
Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters.
It must have fins and scales. Dogs have fins but no scales. Mahi has fins but no scales. Tuna has fins but no scales. You understand? Catfish has fins but no scales. It must have fins and scales. What fish has fins and scales? Cod, snapper, whiting, trout, bass, crappie, bluegill, tilapia, salmon, anchovies, kipper. They have fins and scales. That's fish you can eat. Whiting and trout, perch, you can eat that. That's got fins and scales. All the snapper families, the bass, steelhead, the trout, that you can eat. Croaker, you can eat. You understand? But you can't eat everything that comes out of the water because you are a special people to God. And God is not going to let you just shovel anything that you snatch up underneath of a damn rock like a Moabite, like an Elamite. You have rules. You are special. They are not. You understand?
That's right.
So that's what the Lord says. You can't eat shrimp. It doesn't have fins and scales, but it lives in the water. You can't have clams and scallops, crabs, mussels, and crawfish. You can't eat them. They live in the water, but they don't have fins and scales. A sea urchin, a starfish, an octopus, a turtle. You cannot eat them. They don't have fins and scales. The Lord does not allow you to eat them. You understand? All right. He tells you what birds you can eat. You can't eat a duck. You can't eat a swan. You can't eat a goose. You can't eat a bat. Why do they have to tell you you can't eat a bat? Because they eat bats in China. And guess what happens when you eat a bat in China? You know what happens? COVID. That's what happens. COVID-19 happens to the whole goddamn world because the Chinese eat bats. Just imagine, how could we avoid a disease that is spread by people eating bats? Maybe if there was some rules about what you could or could not eat, so many millions of people across the planet would not have Yaiqua. Shemagabar, what rules could we learn about food? Because we just catch and eat whatever the hell is not fat. Everybody's life if we obey them, because God gave these rules to his family. Stop obeying the Lord, then our flavor is gone. They trample on us and throw us away. Stand. All right. Throughout you, Raj. Who got whatever else I'm host? I gave you scripture, Yahquah. What you got? Leviticus 23.
Con, sir. I just need the verse you want me to start at.
Give me Leviticus chapter 23 and start at verse 2.
Con. The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel.
Say this to the love and commandments have always been directed to the children of Israel. Speak unto the children of Israel. Go ahead.
And say unto them,
speed up a little bit, please.
Oh, Salakia, sir, you're going in and out. I couldn't hear you. Can you hear me, sir?
Sit me down. Thank you, froze.
All right, can you hear me now, sir?
Four.
Concerning the feast of the Most High.
Everybody, give me one if you can hear me. Give me one. It looks like everybody's frozen.
Kind of so we can
anybody hear me?
You were frozen for a little bit.
I heard you.
I can hear you
Okay,
now, sir.
I'm frozen. Look like all of y'all were frozen. All right. Yaquab, start me up at 23 and 2. Most High in Christ, give me 23 and 4. The water for the ones.
Leviticus 23, verse 4. These are the feasts of the Most High.
These are the Did you read verse 4? I think it froze again.
These are the feasts of the Most High. These are the feasts of the Most High.
All right, these are the Lord's feasts. Keep going.
Even holy convocations.
Holy convocations. Keep reading.
Which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
Ye shall proclaim in their seasons. There's a season for each of the Lord's high holy days. In the world, as a slave, your entire life revolves around these holidays. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays. The Lord gave us how to structure our lives. The memories that you have, that brothers and sisters have of doing these things that revolve around the holidays, shapes your year. Preparation and what you're going to do and where you're going to go for your birthday, that shapes your year. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. These holidays shape a person's life. Labor Day weekend, All-Star weekend, 4th of July, Memorial Day, New Year's Day, Easter. These things shape a person's life. You don't have to care about what's in the Bible or learn about the God of the Bible. But when Easter runs around, you feel like it's time to go to church. You got Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, leading you up to Lent. Ash Wednesday. Thursday, you repent. Good Friday, then you go to church on Easter. Your life is revolving around some form of religion to tell you how much and when you're supposed to do the God thing. That's Easter. Boosie got back-to-back murder trials and then went to Easter and got baptized. And then called more murder trials. It doesn't change you, but your life revolves around Easter. And rather than learning the things that would save your life and keep you out of prison, that would keep you from getting into it and having murders happen with other brothers and sisters, you would just base your life around the holidays of our oppressor, which are vain and mean nothing, and you will miss out on the high holy days of the Lord, where the Lord would say, make sure that you deal right with your brother. Remember the commandment, fringes. Remember to not have sex with a brother's woman, which would lead you to get into a shootout, like Mo 3 and YRK Osiris out in Dallas, Texas. You understand? Consider your brother, not Christmas and Thanksgiving about how big a turkey you could get on your table. Remember Hanukkah, when we all had to be on the run and stand with the Lord. Remember Purim, when not some selfish queen diva boss lady dragon bad BIT sister like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and Glorilla that don't give a damn about a Negro. Remember our sister was righteous and honorable and put her people before herself, and that delivered our lives. That's what our sisters are supposed to learn about Hadassah, about that sister, how she saved us. Instead of learning that, they preparing for Easter. Instead of learning Hanukkah, they preparing to go rob somebody to have Christmas, to get in fights, to have your mama invite your baby daddy and you show up with your new boyfriend and they get into a fist fight at the Christmas dinner party. You understand? That's what our life revolve around when it's supposed to revolve around these high holy days. That's why the Lord set the high holy days. How many days is Christmas? 1 day. How many days is Easter? 1 day. How many days is St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, Labor Day? It's 1 day. How many days is the Feast of First Fruits? Huh? What does it say? 7 days ye shall have a feast before the Lord. That's what it says. Hanukkah. How many days is 7? By the space of 7 days ye shall remember. By the space of 7 days. The Lord don't have no 1 day party celebration. That's an oppressor. Ramadan and all of that. That's an oppressor. The Lord high holy days is the week of Passover. That's right, sis. The whole week is the celebration. From Tuesday to Tuesday. Not Fat Tuesday, not Ash Wednesday, not Lent, not Easter Sunday, from this Tuesday till next Tuesday, from this Thursday till next Thursday. That whole time is the feast of the Lord. Every day, the whole day, everybody's off. You understand? The Lord knows much better than this life that we got. If we obeyed the Lord, companies would completely restructure how they operate their businesses because they would get no Israelite labor. They get nothing from us for a week. Who they gonna do? Replace us? They're gonna put the Chinese man on the construction site? He ain't going up there. Who gonna plant their trees? Who gonna paint their houses and do their roofs? Are they going to pay the people double and triple what the job is actually worth? Or they gonna wait for Isupk in a week to save $300,000 on, you understand, on a $400,000 job that they're gonna pay our people $175,000 to do it better in half the time. We would get whatever we wanted from these nations if we obeyed the Lord. That's why it's very important to turn back to the customs that the Lord gave us. You understand? All right. What else we got there? Who was reading?
Slacky, me, sir.
Give it a moment, let it catch up. Everybody, make sure you hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Up out of here. The water, y'all joining us in there tonight. Most High in Christ. All right. These high holy days contain our culture. You understand? In Leviticus 23:10, it talks about reaping the harvest of the land and our first fruits. You understand? We're not even taught that you're supposed to have fruit trees. We've seen the fruit trees. I remember growing up, I was just talking to some older sisters today that everybody wanted to get all of these annoying apples and cherries out the damn city. Raspberries and blueberries and oranges and peaches and limes all over the damn city. You can't hardly walk or drive anywhere because there's so much fruit in abundance all over the damn place. Well, now we don't have any fruit. Now we got what they call a food desert. When before, when we arrived to cities, we planted fruit trees. From honeysuckle to the berries, to grapes, to figs, to apple trees, peaches, pomegranates, oranges. And now, you understand, we were more in tune with what the Lord said for us to do and how to operate before we got more and more in tune with the oppressor's way of life. He don't come from a natural state. That's why he put stone on the ground and live up in the sky. He's an unnatural person. The Lord made him to be the opposite of what the Lord wanted. You understand? So that's what it's talking about. Our harvest, how to prepare things. You understand? We're supposed to be looking forward to this. Fine flour mingled with oil, bacon in a frying pan. We supposed to be, this is our culture. Frying food, dipping the meat in flour, cooking it, making sure it's done, seasoning it up well. That's our culture and our heritage, you understand? That the Lord gave us. We are the people that know how to cook. We are the people that know how to throw together a dish. We are the people you want to go to get something to eat. That's us. You understand? Why? Because the Lord gave us these customs in the Bible. All right. So we're going to pick it up here. We're going to go ahead and drop it off there. We're going to clap it up. Most High Christ, while you're joining us here, we're going to go ahead and get these ISUPK security announcements. All right. Everybody make sure you're prepared. 57th annual Passover in Houston, Texas. Make sure you've done your reservations, book your flights, do your hotel reservations, pay your Passover fees. Get ready. It's coming quick. January.
ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK. Start at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 1 year. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashara means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. Go to isupk.com, click on tithes and donations, and follow the steps from there. Keep your receipts. Priest fund, free roll offering for priests, now mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, that's the Feast of Purim on February 20th. The Feast of Purim, February 20th. Make sure you guys mark your calendars. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, black boots, black shirt, black pants, black headband / war scarf. You want to be assistant in the school, have your head covered, wear a dress, ready to learn. With that, we'll give a courteous salute to the teacher, men of Israel. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Bashim
Yahweh.
Y'all by Shimi Awashai Barakatham.
Yadimata. Star like Agwafian, meaning turn to the sisters. Agwafian, Amajin, Babukusha. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Shemar.
Yahweh Shemar, Lathan Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shemar, Lathan Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yadimata. Dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west.
Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And you know what time it is. It's the Lord's 57th annual Passover, and it's going to be held in Houston, Texas on April 4th. Don't forget, bring your family, bring your friends, because this is going to be the time that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans can come under one roof in one house and to serve the Lord. It's that time. $200 per person. Don't forget, over the age of 17. Don't forget the Lord's Passover. It's coming.
Kingdoms ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one. It was written.
It's that time of year. We're going to be in Houston, Texas from April 1st to April 5th, celebrating the Lord's 57th annual Passover under Commanding General Yohana. Jam-packed, full of events, line dancing, fishing, horseback riding, rides for the kids, bounce houses, and the annual lamb slaughter held at the BH Ranch. And it ain't no party like the all-black party, the annual all-black party. 14149 Player Street in Houston, Texas. You know it's gonna be lit. All leading up to Saturday, April 4th, the Lord's 57th annual Passover. You still got time. Go to isupk.com to pay your Passover fee. 18 and over, $200. You do not want to miss the Lord's 57th annual Passover. Houston, Texas. Shalom.